The 135-pound division is clearly one of the primetime divisions in the sport of boxing. A lot of fighters have come and gone from that weight class, and there's still some big names remaining. Of course, some of the names that have come and gone, and just the big names in general, include the names such as Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez at one point as well. But when we bring all these guys up and we talk about the elites of 135 and the guys that are capable of going undisputed and taking everyone out in the process, one man always seems to get left behind and seems to not get the credit that he deserves, not just off of what he's accomplished, but off of his pure natural ability as a fighter. Now that man is Vasyl Lomachenko. Now I've broken down in my mind how good a lot of the fighters in this weight class are. I've looked at their resumes, I've looked at their performances, their styles, how they react under pressure, what they've done in the sport, and what I see them doing in the sport. And I genuinely feel that Vasyl Lomachenko is still the dark horse of this weight class. Now, obviously, there's a lot of other guys in the weight that are also dark horses. I think William Zepeda, who fought last night, looked absolutely tremendous. I feel that guy is such a good fighter, very underrated, and very dangerous. And honestly, I can't see any guy willingly taking that guy on. But I think that Vasyl Lomachenko is much better than people realize, and even at his age, he is still a true pound-for-pound level talent. Now, I don't have him on my pound-for-pound list, but I do feel he's good enough to be on that list off of pure ability. When you look at what Vasyl Lomachenko's done and his wins and his losses, a lot of people will instantly look at his record. He's 17-3. He has lost to Orlando Salido early in his career. He lost to Teofimo Lopez, and then he lost to Devin Haney. But when you break down each of those losses and you see how well he's done in those fights, especially the Devin Haney one, that's the fight I really want to talk about today. Vasyl Lomachenko is a threat at 135, and I would not comfortably pick Shakur Stevenson or anyone else at matter of fact in this weight range to defeat Vasyl Lomachenko. He took on Devin Haney, who is my number 6 pound-for-pound fighter. Devin Haney is constantly moving up the ranks, and honestly, assuming he beats Ryan Garcia, there's a chance he'll move up one more spot just off of consistency. This is a guy that has consistently taken on the best of the best. He's constantly testing himself and proving himself. When you look at what Devin Haney's done aside from the Vasyl Lomachenko fight, he's pretty much dominated everyone. I mean, yes, he's had a tough fight here and there. He had a lot of issues with Jorge Linares. He had a lot of issues with Jojo Diaz. Maybe not a lot of issues against Jojo Diaz, but it wasn't a walk in the park. But since those bouts, he has been very dominant. He took out George Kambosos, the same George that was coming off a victory against Teofimo Lopez. He rematched that George and dominated him, beat him clearly, hurt him, blooded him up, beat him much better than he did the first time around. He fought Loma, and I felt Vasyl Lomachenko defeated Devin Haney 7 rounds to 5, 115 to 113. After that fight, he completely shut out top 2, top 3, 140-pounder Regis Prograis to become a two-weight champion. This is the same Regis Prograis has consistently been put up as one of the top guys at 140. The same Regis Prograis that was calling out Terrence Crawford a few years back. The same Regis Prograis that, aside from Josh Taylor, was the clear-cut best talent at 140 for a good 4 years or so. If Josh Taylor didn't exist, Regis Prograis would have been an undisputed champion at 140, as I would have picked him to beat Jose Ramirez. Devin Haney didn't just beat him, he didn't just beat him easily. He completely shut him out, won every round. I mean, maybe there's a round or two you could have given Regis. I don't remember exactly, but I know he won virtually every round. I think I gave him every round, but I don't exactly remember. I may have given Regis a round or two, but I'm pretty sure I gave Devin every round in that fight. He dropped him, completely shut him down. Regis had one of the worst performances I've ever seen in a title fight ever. And he was able to do this coming off the Vasyl Lomachenko fight. Loma, who's much smaller than Regis, older than Regis, is at the twilight of his career, supposedly, arguably beats a top 5, top 6 pound-for-pound level fighter in Devin Haney. Vasyl Lomachenko is going to dominate George Kambosos. I want to let you guys know this right away. He's going to beat George worse than Devin Haney did. He's going to beat George really badly, and I see him getting a stoppage in the later rounds in a very impressive performance. Vasyl Lomachenko is not done, guys. He is not finished, and yes, he may never go undisputed, even though, in my opinion, he deserved to be an undisputed champion. He may never go undisputed for the rest of his career. Who knows? But he's definitely not finished attempting it. He's not finished trying it. I see them setting up a Shakur Stevenson fight. I can tell that's the route they're trying to go. And the way Shakur looked his last time out, I would not be very confident in picking him to beat Vasyl Lomachenko. Even at this point, if he beats Loma, it would probably be by a very dubious decision. Devin Haney, in my opinion, lost to Loma, and Devin Haney is a tremendous talent, and in my opinion, the best guy at 140. I would pick Devin to beat Teofimo Lopez. I'd even pick him to beat Subriel Matias. The same Devin Haney that I think beats everyone at 140, in my opinion, lost to an out-of-prime Vasyl Lomachenko. Vasyl Lomachenko is one of the most disrespected fighters in years. I made a whole video breaking this down, and I still stick with that point. He's earned a lot more respect after that Devin Haney fight, but I don't think people really understand how good of a fighter Vasyl Lomachenko is. He is truly an elite talent. He is a guy that, even though he never went undisputed, and even though his accolades aren't truly elite, they're very good, but they're not top tier. He is a very, very high-level fighter, and he's not an easy opponent for anyone. I don't see anyone having an easy night with him. I'm not confident in picking Tank to beat Vasyl Lomachenko. I'd probably pick Tank to beat him now. A few years back, I definitely would have picked Loma to beat him. I was always on the Loma train over Tank. I think at this point, Tank may have gotten a little too good. He's gotten a lot better since then, and as Loma is aging and Tank is also getting physically bigger, that fight may be a little too difficult for Loma, but the fact that Loma at this age is still competing with these types of guys, and the fact that I thought he beat Devin Haney and is a guy that could arguably beat Shakur Stevenson, I would pick him to beat Ryan Garcia right now. There's a lot of guys I would pick him to beat, and I think Vasyl Lomachenko is still a very dangerous guy at 135, and I wanted to address this fact because a lot of people don't realize how much of a threat at 135 Vasyl Lomachenko could be. This is a guy that could genuinely cause a real stir-up in the weight class. He can definitely upset an apple cart or two. I mean, if he took on Shakur Stevenson, he could very well pull off that big upset victory, and I'm very glad that Loma still is proving to have some left in the tank. I do feel that he is a true generational talent off of pure ability. I think his natural skill set is absolutely phenomenal, absolutely tremendous, and I'm really intrigued to see what he can do for the rest of his career before he hangs it up. It's very rare to see a guy who relies not just on fight IQ, but on reflexes and natural agility to maintain this level of competition and to maintain this level of ability throughout their career. Usually it's the big punchers that can last this long in their careers, but Vasyl Lomachenko is a guy who relies on his athleticism and IQ and coordination, and those things haven't really slipped too much for Loma, and I'm very intrigued to see what he can do at 135 before he calls it a day. Hopefully, best case scenario for Vasyl Lomachenko, he takes out George, he takes on a champion. I'm not exactly sure which champion he would go for right away. Hopefully, at some point, he can go for Shakur Stevenson, and if Vasyl Lomachenko defeats Shakur Stevenson, that would be a tremendous way for him to end his career. Now, I'm not saying he would, but I do think he has a better shot than people realize, assuming we get the same Loma that we got versus Devin. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about Loma? Do you think he still has it left in the tank? Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one. God bless. I'll see you guys later. Peace.